Drifting alone on a desolate moon, an exiled alien woman hears the screech of scavenger drones closing in. Just as her oxygen alarms wail their final warning, a lone human rover skids across the dust, its pilot risking everything to pull her into his pressurized cockpit. In that heartbeat, two strangers become each other's last chance at life, love, and vengeance against the family that cast her out. The harsh crimson dawn of Neres 9 bled across the cratered horizon as Lysara staggered through powdered regolith, every breath rasping like torn metal in her suit's failing recycler. 20 hours earlier she'd knelt in her family's great hall, expecting absolution for a crime she never committed, the loss of a mineral convoy ambushed by pirates. Instead, House Shira pronounced exile. They dragged her to a dropship, dumped her on this mining moon, and left one half-charged air tank. When the shuttle's engines faded, so did any illusion of forgiveness. Now warning glyphs strobed across her visor, O2 at 6%.
Heart rate spiking. She looked up.
The sky was too close, the pale gas giant looming like a lid ready to seal her tomb. But worse than suffocation were the carrion drones. Cheap scavenger rigs that patrolled abandoned dig sites, peeling metal from wrecks and bone from corpses. Their distant screeching turbines echoed across the flats, a mechanized murder of vultures.
She keyed her comm once more.
Mayday, passenger LS-47 any craft, any port.
Static.
The Shira crest frequency blocked her ID, no beacon could ping through their corporate firewalls. In house law she was already listed lost with honor.
Translation: dead and forgotten.
She tripped over a protruding drill head, slammed to her knees, coughed blood into her helmet padding.
Her vision tunneled.
Through the blur she saw motion, a sleek rover kicking up dust a kilometer out, skimming toward her like a meteor. For a heartbeat hope flared, then logic doused it. No one crossed the forbidden salvage zone except pirates or scrap gangs who'd ransom her suit for spare parts.
Still, she couldn't run. Couldn't even stand.
The rover braked so abruptly regolith billowed around her.
A hatch popped.
Out clambered a human, tall, lean, the Terran sunburst patch on his shoulder half torn. He moved with practiced urgency, slapping a canister onto her rebreather port. Fresh oxygen hissed. Color flooded her display. His voice rumbled over a wideband open channel.
Easy. Breathe slow.
I'm Marcus Reed, independent surveyor. Saw your life signs spike on my thermal scan. He knelt, visor reflecting her wide lavender eyes. Got room in my pressurized cab.
Trust me. Trust.
A word she hadn't tasted since childhood games before duty drowned innocence.
Lysara forced a nod.
Marcus scooped her up effortlessly and backed toward the rover. Above, droning scavengers vectored in, sensors sniffing for scrap. One dipped low, serrated mandibles glinted. Marcus pivoted, unholstering an ancient slug thrower. 2 shots cracked, the drone spiraled, oil spraying like dark rain.
Cab doors sealed.
Atmospheric gauges normalized. Lysara ripped off her helmet, gasping recycled but ample air. Marcus keyed the throttle, the rover lurched away, tires chewing moon dust.
He glanced over. Vitals stabilizing. Name: Lysara.
SH. She bit off her house name, it felt poisoned.
Just Lysara. He didn't press.
Instead he navigated a maze of slag hills. Nearest shelters my drop base 30 clicks west. We'll patch your suit and figure out why a house heiress is wandering condemned zones alone.
Her head snapped.
How do you know? Only Shira wear that alloy stitching. He pointed at the faint sigil etched on her gauntlet. But your transponder's blank. Looks like a disownment protocol. Heat prickled behind her eyes, shame, anger, relief. They left me to die. Not today, he said softly, toggling autopilot.
Drink.
He handed her a squeeze pack of electrolyte broth. As she sipped, strength seeped back. For 5 silent minutes she watched this stranger pilot across alien wasteland, wonder blooming. Why would a human, least connected to Shira politics, risk himself? At base, an inflatable habitat dome hugged a ravine wall. Inside, warm LED strips illuminated tool benches and sample jars. Marcus guided her to a medcot, ran scanners. Mild hypoxia, rib bruise, dehydration, he summarized. You'll live. She studied his weather-lined face, the hint of an old scar along his jaw. Why help me? He set down the scanner. Because someone once found me half dead on a Martian ridge and didn't ask pedigree before saving my hide.
He looked away.
Debt I'll never repay, except by paying forward. Silence settled, punctuated by distant thumps of scavenger drones dismantling derelicts. Finally Lysara spoke, my convoy vanished in pirate space. House elders claimed I leaked coordinates. Political scapegoat.
Her voice cracked.
Trial lasted 10 minutes. Sentence, exile by attrition. Marcus swore under his breath. Shira controls half the sector's titanium trade. They figure drones finish the dirty work.
She nodded. He paced, mind turning. Listen.
I'm mapping subsurface water veins for the Frontier Hydro Guild. My contract's legit. Guild law outranks private houses on moons without hab colonies. If I register you as crew, Shira can't seize you without violating inter-guild treaties. Hope flared, fragile. Would Guild accept an alien accused of treason?
Marcus smiled. Guild likes talent.
You ran a convoy, logistics under pirate threat.
That's skill. He extended a calloused hand. Partner up.
Her fingers trembled as she took it.
Partner.
Small blue diamond, small blue diamond, small blue diamond. Over the next 4 days Lysara learned the rhythm of survey life. She recalibrated seismometers, plotted drill coordinates, and, under Marcus's tutelage, piloted the rover by starlight. They ate together, Terra root stew mixed with Shira spice packets she'd salvaged. Conversation deepened. Marcus spoke of losing his sister to a mining collapse funded by the same Shira conglomerate. Lysara confessed dreams of commanding starfreighters free from house chains. Shared scars wove quiet intimacy. But shadows gathered. A Shira corvette dropped from FDL on Neres Nina's edge, scanning for property. Guild satellites relayed the ping. Marcus's jaw tightened. They're hunting you. That night, under a sky ablaze with meteoroid streaks, Lysara traced constellations through the dome's clear apex. Running won't end this, she said. House Shira erases obstacles permanently. Marcus joined her. Then expose them. How? They own the courts. Guild council might listen, if we present proof of wrongful exile and convoy sabotage. He opened a data slate. I intercepted fragments of pirate comms last month. Coordinates match your convoy route. Could link Shira insiders to the raid. Lysara met his gaze, determination igniting. Let's finish the map run, then broadcast everything to the guild. Thunder rolled, a sound impossible in airless planes. They sprinted outside, Shira dropship engines roared overhead, floodlights sweeping. Marcus shoved her behind a boulder. They found us fast. The dropship landed, exosuited enforcers fanning out. Marcus gripped his slug thrower. Back hatch of the dome leads to lava tubes. Go. She shook her head. Partners don't abandon each other. Boots crunched closer. Lysara inhaled, stepped into the open. Spotlight blinded her. A captain's voice filtered through comms. Lysara Shira, by decree of the matriarch, you are to be detained and returned for final judgment. Behind captors, Marcus sighted down his weapon but held fire waiting. Lysara lifted her chin. I stand under guild protection as crew of Hydro Surveyor Marcus Reed. Any seizure breaches Treaty 14C. Captain scoffed. Humans and their treaties. He raised a shock lance. A sonic blast cracked. Marcus had fired, not at soldiers but at a ridge sensor node Lysara rigged that morning. It detonated, unleashing a rockslide between them and house troops. Dust clouds billowed, obscuring vision. Marcus grabbed Lysara's hand. They sprinted to the rover, engines already revved. Boulders crashed behind as they tore across the flats, dropship struggling to lift amid debris. Breath ragged, Lysara glanced back at collapsing cliffs. That buys minutes, not hours. Marcus keyed autopilot. Enough to reach my orbital skiff. We upload evidence on the way. She squeezed his hand. Together. The rover's engines howled against Neres Nina's thin wisps of dust as Marcus and Lysara raced toward the jagged basalt plateau that marked the survey skiff's hidden hangar. Behind them, House Shira's dropship clawed free of the rockslide and rose like a black omen, its search beams stabbing across the wasteland in frantic sweeps. Comms channels sizzled with orders: intercept the rover, priority target Lysara Shira. Lethal force authorized. Inside the cab the atmosphere tasted of ionized nerves and engine lubricant. Lysara's fingers flew across the data slate, stitching Marcus's intercepted pirate transmissions to her own convoy logs, times, coordinates, cargo manifests. One damning pattern emerged. The pirates had been tipped off by an encrypted Shira subchannel. Betrayal in irrefutable code. Marcus spared a glance from the controls. Packet compiled, sealed and quantum signed. She slid a hollow crystal key into the slate. But we need the guild's mainnet to broadcast, and it sits off-world. That's what the skiff is for. A chorus of warning chimes erupted. The rover's rear sensors painted 3 incoming projectiles, micromissiles designed for vehicle interdiction. Marcus jerked the wheel, tires skidding across loose shale. Plumes of dust obscured line of sight, but the missiles coursed through their own heat-seek routines. Lysara braced herself, heart hammering with the twin rhythms of fear and newfound resolve.
Hold tight.
Marcus slammed an override that dumped the rover's coolant coils in a superheated cloud. The sudden thermal bloom blinded the missile guidance. 2 veered off and detonated in the distance.
The third streaked closer.
Marcus punched the eject on the rover's spare oxygen rack. Tanks tumbled, burst, and the shockwave nudged the missile off trajectory. It exploded in a silent flower of fire 30 meters abeam, rattling the cabin. "You drive like a wild comet," Lysara breathed.
"Former smuggler," he admitted. "Old habits."
Ahead, the plateau's base yawned open, an ancient lava tube that Marcus had retrofitted with camo shutters. The rover plunged inside just as the dropship's cannon spat tracer slugs that ricocheted off basalt columns. Darkness swallowed them, only the rover's headlights knifed through, illuminating the sleek skiff perched on mag sleds. They skidded to a halt. Marcus vaulted out, hit the hangar's remote. Armored blast doors rumbled shut behind them, blocking the dropship's line of fire.
For now.
Lysara sprinted up the skiff's ramp, pulse roaring in her ears. Every footfall echoed with the weight of her fate, and the chance to topple the house that had cast her aside. The cockpit smelled of silicone sealant and star engine grease. Marcus powered reactors to full, coolant vanes glowing sapphire.
Flight path.
She strapped into the co-pilot chair. Straight up to low orbit, then tight burn to Guild Relay Beta. Their marshals will be forced to log any encrypted evidence received in person.
She hesitated.
Shira could still shoot us down. We'll fly where their guns risk hitting the relay. Marcus's grin was wolfish. Even Shira won't court a guild war. Launch thrusters ignited. The skiff roared up the shaft as hangar doors peeled apart. Outside, dawn bled purple across the moon's jagged rim. The dropship swung to pursue, but momentum was with the smaller craft. G-forces pressed them into seats while altimeter numbers blurred.
Entering exosphere, Marcus reported.
Plasma licked the viewports, then cleared to reveal the pale gas giant Sarinth coiling like a marble of storm bands. Lysara exhaled, first real breath of safety since exile began. Comms crackled with the tight, clipped accent of Captain Darvin Shira. Unidentified skiff, this is the House Corvette Vigilance. Power down and prepare for boarding. The fugitive Lysara Shira is house property. Lysara keyed open channel, voice steady yet sizzling with defiance. This is Lysara, not your property, never again. I possess proof House Shira colluded with pirates, murdered its own crews, and violated guild law. Stand down or face tribunal. Cold silence, then Darvin spat, so be it. Target lock alarms shrieked. Vigilance's rail turret pivoted. A slug round could shatter the skiff before the guild ever heard their plea. Marcus kicked engines into redline, diving toward the station-sized array of relay beta. Automated defense grids flared to life, turrets tracking anything that threatened the relay's integrity. If Vigilance fired now, stray rounds risked piercing guild infrastructure, a capital offense. The corvette nosed up, guns cooling. Standoff achieved. Moments later magnetic clamps embraced the skiff, docking achieved. Airlocks hissed, guild marshals in silver-blue armor greeted them. Marshal Zheng's stern gaze softened at sight of Lysara's torn suit and the crystal key she held forth. You request protective custody? I request justice. She slotted the key into Zheng's reader. The corridor holoscreens exploded with data, convoy manifests, pirate comm intercepts, exile edicts. Evidence streamed live to guild servers, automatically mirrored to public infobanks. Truth, once born, could not be shoved back into shadows. Outside the viewports, Vigilance powered thrusters as if to flee, but a squadron of guild concussion frigates slid from drydock, weapons hot. Darvin transmitted a terse compliance signal and cut engines. Every on-station reporter pivoted lenses to the humiliated corvette. Within an hour, Guild Judiciary issued an injunction freezing all Shira assets pending inquiry. Celebratory messages pinged across mining colonies. For the first time in decades, House Shira would face reckoning. Small blue diamond, small blue diamond, small blue diamond. 3 weeks later, Guild Tribunal Hall, Arcadia Station. A vaulted chamber of polished onyx and alloy, the tribunal sat in concentric tiers, witnesses projected in hollow or seated at mahogany desks. Lysara stood beside Marcus under the glow of oath lamps. Her ex-family stared from the defendant's dais, matriarch Vale Shira's lip curled in disdain. Guild Justiciar Ren listed charges, dereliction, sabotage, attempted contract killing, treaty breach. Evidence filled hollow panels. The gathered public murmured.
Ren turned to Lysara.
Your testimony corroborates the data. What restitution do you seek?
Her pulse thundered.
Every expectation of Shira decorum urged her to beg for reinstatement, for scraps of status.
Instead she drew breath.
I seek nothing from House Shira. Let their profits fund safety for every minor they exploited. I renounce my surname and claim sole citizenship under the Frontier Guild. She glanced at Marcus. And I petition for joint charter of a survey vessel to map resource veins free of corporate predation. Ren smiled faintly. Charter approved. Gasps rippled. Vale Shira slammed a fist. Ren's gavel struck. House Shira properties hereby seized pending labor reparations. The matriarch's cry of outrage echoed like a dying star. Marcus squeezed Lysara's hand. A future unshackled opened before them. Small blue diamond, small blue diamond, small blue diamond. 6 months later, aboard the star schooner Wayfarer's Grace. Twin solar sails unfurled blue-white against nebular mist, catching radiation currents as the newly christened Wayfarer's Grace glided between asteroid clusters. On her hull, an intertwined emblem of Terran sunburst and a stylized comet, the symbol of the vow unbound, Lysara's choice of a new family name forged from freedom rather than blood. In the cockpit Lysara plotted scan grids while Marcus fine-tuned the spectral analyzers. Below decks, rescued miners staffed labs, sharing laughter and plans for co-op ventures that would cut conglomerate claws from frontier trade. The ship felt alive with purpose. During a quiet watch shift, Marcus set autopilot and produced a velvet pouch. From it he drew a delicate ring, crafted from Neres 9 basalt, inlaid with silver flecks of Shira titanium reclaimed from confiscated stockpiles. Thought you might want a souvenir, he said, voice low. She traced the band, emotions swirling. It's beautiful. Not a shackle, he added quickly, just a question. He cleared his throat, sudden nerves at odds with the veteran smuggler. Lysara vow unbound, will you chart the rest of the stars with me, not as partners of necessity but of choice? She answered by slipping the ring on and pressing her forehead to his, Chikora style of sealing vows. From the void we were cast, into the void we rise, together. Outside the viewport a new sun peeked over the rim of a cerulean world yet uncharted on any guild map. Potential for water, life, community, everything they fought for. Marcus engaged descent thrusters. Wayfarer's Grace banked toward dawn, her crew ready to build futures unburdened by old tyrannies. And somewhere in the expanse behind them, the once mighty House Shira reeled under tribunal audits, its power broken by the simple, stubborn courage of one exiled woman and the human who chose her life over fearful silence. In the hush of deep space, where vultures once circled, a different sound now rang, the steady pulse of hope, beating in twin hearts that refused to die alone.